And Sports Buffet is live, coming late on a Monday night on Martin Luther King Day. Shout out to Mr. Martin Luther King. We appreciate all your efforts and early basketball games and all the sporting events you bring to us on this lovely Monday, Martin Luther King Day. Matt, you had the day off. How was your day off?
It's good. It was relaxing.
Yeah.
I got Lakers Celtics on now.
Oh, so. Lakers are getting smacked right now. How do you feel about that?
Dude, it's bad right now. It's 93-68 Boston.
Yeah, that's what 90? What'd you say? 93?
93-68.
Ooh,
they're getting killed, dude.
And like LeBron, everyone's playing, right?
Everyone's playing, yeah.
Is AD back?
Who?
Anthony Davis is back, right?
Yeah, he's back. He hasn't made much. They're not playing any defense, and the Celtics are just quick as hell.
Yeah, that's a weird one for the Lakers. It's like just a cold night in Boston. They probably just like, I don't know. I think LeBron was at his son's high school game, and he's probably just in chill mode and checked out, and they probably just had a nice dinner in Boston and just don't give a fuck about the game today.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Chuck said, like before the game.
Yeah.
Barkley, he was like, I got Celtics winning this one because LeBron was at his kid's game. Like he's not trying to.
And the Lakers are like, the Celtics are a type of team that like, there's no games off for them. There's no like packing it in and calling it. Like every game they're trying to get better. Stevens is like pushing them to like, run plays or try new shit or try out different rotations. Whereas the Lakers, they have more seasoned vets that like can phone it in a little bit more. It's like the old school Celtics with KG, Pierce, and Ray Allen. It's almost like it's not the right thing to say because it's like teams can't necessarily turn it on when the games are big, but like teams could turn it on when it's a bigger game, Yeah,
kind of seems, Lakers do coast sometimes,
yeah,
especially if they're, starting a road trip or whatever. And the Celtics, I feel like Brad Stevens' teams always put in the effort. Mm-hmm. It's weird. It's like they play just as hard as they did when he was coaching in college.
That was the beef I had. That's the beef I have with all these Bulls fans out here that are mad at their coach Boylan or whatever his name is because although they might lose these games, they're like competing in every single game. It's coming down to the wire. They've got a shot to win. They've got like, they might miss a game winner or players are improving, and everybody's so fed up with front office and the head coach. But similar to the Celtics, it's like they're competing every single night, where it's like the Knicks, that doesn't happen. They go out and they'll get smacked by like 40 points at home to Phoenix. And you're just like, there's no sign of like getting better or like any signs of hope. The Bulls, I could look at them and I'm like, all right, their pieces are getting better. Like they're growing, they're developing. And it's always the same thing with the Celtics. Even when they're in like rebuilding mode, they compete every night and they could smack a team like the Lakers, whereas other teams like the Knicks don't smack a team like this.
No, that's the thing. And the Bulls, they do have guys that go off, though. That's the thing. That's what it is, really. Like they have Levine who could just go off. Marketing can go off. What do the Knicks have, really, that can go off? Zach Randolph? Not Zach Randolph, I'm sorry. Julius Randle.
And that guy...
That's not racist, but...
I went to Knicks Bucks here in Milwaukee, and let me tell you something. One, there was a Trump rally right next door. I didn't know that, and there was mad traffic. So, like, if I had known that beforehand, I would have saved the hour drive out there. But nonetheless, the Knicks lost by like 50. It was just like the most embarrassing game ever. And don't ever go to like a weird towns. Like, I'm sure Oklahoma City's the same. I'm sure Utah's the same. If you're wearing an opposing jersey, you're going to be an outcast. Like, and I was surprised, too, because I was wearing a Knicks jersey. I thought the Knicks at least travel well enough that I'd see another Knicks fan that even though we're getting smacked, I can give them like yeah, I know, man, we suck, blah, blah, but like, we're in this together type of shit.
Yeah.
That shit wasn't happening in Milwaukee, man. Everybody was a Bucks fan. Like, even women who, like, you wouldn't think they'd be into Antetokounmpo jersey on. Or, like, random old dudes rocking a jersey, Bucks jersey, like old school throwback shit. Like, I was surprised at how many Bucks fans, like not even a Lakers jersey or random. I give their fan base a lot of props, man, because they were fucking passionate about the Bucks, and I felt weird because I was by myself and I had a Knicks jersey on.
That is a little surprising, but if you really think about it, like people from New York City are traders. Like people will hop off real quick. Like they'll go to a Knicks game and wear a Giannis jersey when the Bucks come to play.
Yeah,
because they're just, it's whatever is like hot at that moment or in or trendy, whatever it is. Milwaukee people don't know any better, man. They don't know any better. They can't see past their state.
I know.
They're like everything's
but
Milwaukee.
they're so like friendly and they're so like just I don't know. Anyone outside of New York or like Chicago, these big cities are just like to me they're just like awkward, weird people. So I'm sitting there by myself, just chilling. I was comfortable. I was fine. I wasn't, I was just enjoying the game. I legit just wanted to see the Knicks play. And there's like two couples next to me on like a date, and one of the guys was sort of corny. Like they gave away like these Bucks soccer scarves, and so I had mine, and I'm wearing my Knicks jersey. So like he asked, he was like, "Hey man, like, can I have your scarf? You don't probably want it, right?" I was like, "No, actually, I'll keep it. It was freezing cold. I was like, I'll wear it on the way back." And then later on the game, I'm still just chilling, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to come over and drink with us? I feel bad for you." And I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm just chilling. And, like, this girl in front of me and her boyfriend looked back and sort of smiled, siding with them. And I was like, don't fucking cheer this guy on. Like, he's a cornball.
That makes it more awkward. That's like,
yeah.
I've done stuff like that before. It's like, listen, I came out alone for a reason. Exactly. I'm good.
Like, I'm totally fine with going by myself to sporting event games. It's like, I don't have to talk to anybody. I could just sit there and chill, and I could lock in on the Jumbotron and watch. I could not pay attention if I have to or something.
Yeah.
Like, I think going to shit by yourself is fucking awesome. And sporting events, there's nothing better because it's like you don't have to fucking bullshit or whatever. You could just enjoy it by yourself.
No, it's low-key underrated because if you're really searching for someone to go to a game with you, then, like, that's probably not your boy, and then probably a ton of small talk is involved, and that's not easy to do. You're talking 2 hours, maybe even 3 if it's a baseball game. Like, no thanks. So I'll go to a Mets game all the time. Like, I'll just buy a ticket the day of and just go to the game by myself. You don't have to think about
nothing. I mean, if you want to have a beer, you don't have to worry about spending $30 because, like, your boy might be a fucking work on Wall Street or something, and he's like, let's get some beers. And you're like,
yeah.
Whoa.
Yo, I know, for real. Because I've literally gone to a Mets game and spent $0 at the game and be like, I'm good. I don't need anything.
Yep.
Maybe I'll get $1 water from the guy outside the stadiums, drink it real quick, go back in. I don't need to eat for 3 hours. Like, I'm all right. Like,
now, a sporting event is weird. It's the only place, and I might have spoken about this before, but when I used to go to Jets games back when they were at the Meadowlands, there used to be people across the bridge that would have a shopping cart from like ShopRite. That shit would be crusty as fuck. The shit would look disgusting. And they'd have pretzels chilling in there, but they'd be like $1 or something like that. And you'd leave the game, be starving, and they'd be perfectly like spotted right at you remember the old tunnel you had to walk across?
Yeah.
The Meadowlands? Yep. And I would always buy something from them, whether it was like a hot dog, whatever the fuck they were selling. But like, if you put that next to a bunch of food trucks in like New York City and like you got out of lunch, you'd be like, what the hell is that person doing?
Yeah,
like, how are they selling pretzels out of that crusty ass street cart? But sporting events, I'll eat anything, man. I'll eat nachos.
Anything goes, yeah.
Yeah. What when you go to an opposing team's stadium outside of New York, are you wearing like your Mets jersey? Are you wearing like your local? Are you picking up something of the team there? Just rocking a T-shirt? What's your getup?
I usually just wear like nothing related to the sport or the game.
Oh,
or
really?
Anything. Yeah, just a regular tee, man. Because I, especially if I'm going to an away stadium, I don't want to be bothered, man. And especially if like
it opens up conversation.
Yeah, like it's what like. that's what it does. It just opens up unwanted conversation. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I don't really need to. And plus, if I'm like just sitting there watching my team by myself, and then they decide to just start talking, it's like, come on, man, what are we doing? I have no desire to do this. You know,
I
but
feel you
people
100%.
do that, and
I know.
I do think like I wouldn't even do that if I was with a group of people. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was at Mets Yankees is different. If you're going to a Yankees game and a Mets fan or vice versa, it's a little different because you're playing each other. But I've seen guys like Mets Rockies and a guy's wearing a full blown Yankee cheater starting Mets suck chants. I'm like, bro,
That's
honestly,
excessive.
Like, what are we doing here? You look like the biggest loser ever, man. You look like this is your life. Like this is why you went here, to do that.
Yeah.
Like I would never do that. I would never do that. I would never go into Yankees Red Sox and wear a Mets jersey. And
no,
like,
that's
what are we doing?
That's excessive. And there's very few people that become like an ultimate fan or some shit like that. Like Fireman Ed has his niche. You know, he's like the guy at Jets games, and I don't know, he must have had some, to build up to where he must have had some rough years of like trying to get the JETS Jets chant started, and people being like, yo, like, relax, dude. And then like season after season he kept doing it, and eventually it picked up. Like I think the Giants have a guy named like License Plate Man who rocks like mad license plates on his neck.
Oh, okay. The Mets have a
Cowbell Man, right?
Cowbell Man, yeah. He's actually an interesting dude. What do you think about Fireman Ed?
I'm okay with him because like he's sort of gangster about his shit. Like he's not corny. He doesn't have Instagram, I don't think. He doesn't try to like plug a Twitter account. He's just like, I think he was a real firefighter, right?
I think so, yeah.
And he's just like, I think he's Italian or whatever the hell he is. He's just gangster in how he goes about his shit. Like his face, he's not like smiley, bubbly, doing weird shit. You don't see him out there being corny with like the Jets junior club if they've got like a 5-year-old who's like a reporter. He doesn't fuck with that shit.
No, but and I had those same thoughts about 10 years ago or so. But when it was the Sanchez era and he was always rocking the Sanchez jersey, so many fans got on him because they're like, Sanchez sucks.
Yeah, but what do you want the guy to do?
No, I know, but then he quit the job for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I respect him for that.
I'm not down with that, man. You got to ride it out. Go change your jersey or something, bro.
He was like upset. Wasn't he upset with like management or something like that? Which ultimately doesn't make any sense because Woody Johnson's still been the owner the whole time.
Yeah, no, he was upset with fans. He said, I'm not doing it because I did this, for fans, and now they're treating me bad. I'm like, bro, just maybe they want you to change your stupid ass jersey. Sanchez isn't good. So
yeah, but I fuck with him. I respect him on that, man, because it's like, go after Sanchez. Don't go after freaking Fireman Ed. Like, put all that energy towards Sanchez even more than you already have. Like,
oh, I think they were going after both. I think anyone could get it during the Sanchez days when he was struggling. Anyone could get it.
I just feel like there's very few, like, quirky fans like that. Like, I went to a Marlins game and I think they had like a button guy or something, like a pin man or something like that. Who R.I.P. I think he passed away, but like he would get a pin on every single part of his hat or some shit. Like that guy, okay, do your thing. But like if you're like a wannabe like crazy fan going in like a Mets jersey and like you're putting something corny on your back, like Mustache Man or some shit, like save it, dude, because it's like you're not Cowbell Man. Like Cowbell Man's Cowbell Man, and he put his reps in.
Cowbell Man is legit. Marlins Man is awesome.
Yeah, like those people are fine. I'm all for mascots too. I know we've spoken about Mr. Met. As long as your mascot's decent, like the Clippers have, I think his name is Chuck, who's just weird. It's like a bird, like a pink flamingo or something like that with some Converse on. So I don't know. Yes. Crazy fans, I'm okay with Fireman Ed, but like I'm sure there's some out there that cross the line between like just creepy. Like Marlin man gets a little creepy for me because like he doesn't. His quirk is just to wear the bright orange jersey, and he doesn't really bring anything else to the table. Like he's not cheering. You know, like
he brings like two 22-year-old blondes near his side to the table. That's what
yeah, the guy's a fanatic, but you never even see him at any fucking Marlins games.
No, he goes to the biggest games. He doesn't go to just Marlins
if
games.
You're a Marlins fan, like I should see you at some Marlins game.
That's no, I know. No one goes to that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like that guy. I don't respect him as like Fireman Ed. That's my guy. I get down on Fireman Ed. But speaking about football, I'm rocking. I don't even know. I think this was like Super Bowl 53 or 52 or something like that. I don't know. I can't keep up with it. They got to just start using numbers again because the Roman numerals is like it's just confusing.
I don't know what L is.
I think L's 50 because like this couldn't be anything else. It's a sort of recently new hat.
Is it A, B, C, D? No, it's not. I thought it was like the fifth letter in the alphabet, but I'm way off on that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I'm wearing my Super Bowl hat because we got Chiefs. We got the 49ers. Who do you like?
I know we got 2 weeks left till the actual game, pretty much, but
so much time in between. Even with the college football playoff, it was like it took forever.
Yeah, I know. It's always, it's always slow this week, and then next week it heats up with media week is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
is the Pro Bowl this week? Isn't the Pro Bowl the week before now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have the Pro Bowl, right?
We'll get that.
Which is a joke. Yeah.
I won't even pay attention to that. But I want to lean towards the Niners just because, like, that was my team growing up for video games. Like, the Jets were never good. Yeah. That. I just love Steve Young, Jerry Rice.
Did you play Quarterback Club?
No, what's that?
Oh, Quarterback Club was a classic. I think it was old school Super Nintendo had Quarterback Club, and Steve Young was on the cover. I'm going to bring it up because it's so iconic. Okay. I don't know how you don't know Quarterback Club. What football game did you play, like, out of your earliest career?
Dude, I remember Sega, there was a game. It was horrible graphics, man.
Oh, they were the worst.
It might have been, honestly, it might have even been as far back as, like, Tecmo Bowl or some shit, man. I don't know. Like, some of the graphics, like, old school football games were, like, bad graphics.
Dude, how do you
They're just ants.
Did you have Super Nintendo?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you're... This.
I went from Nintendo to Sega.
You don't remember?
I feel like I've seen. Yeah. So I've seen that. I feel like I probably played that.
Oh, this was a classic. Oh, that was such a good game. I'm bringing back memories right now to myself.
I think with Sega, it started like NFL '95, and then it was like and then it turned into Madden fairly quickly.
Yeah, Madden picked up. I mean, Tecmo Bowl was a popular one.
Yeah.
I remember Quarterback Club for some reason. I don't know. And then I remember having Quarterback Club, and I think they came out with PlayStation next or something like that. And I went to Funcoland, which was. Did you have Funcoland?
The hell is that?
That was like the game store.
No,
I don't know if it was like
definitely
Universal.
A local thing for you.
No, Funcoland is Universal, man.
Funcoland?
Dude,
what?
I want to know if that. Man, I wish I had like someone paid on staff that can look all this shit up. Funcoland had all the video games. Oh, I think they might have gotten bought by GameStop. That's how popular they were. Funcoland store.
Yeah, it did. The company behind used video games.
Yeah.
Bro, I never had a Funcoland. Look at this sign.
Yo, this is bringing back so much. This might have been the Funcoland that I went to.
They all look like that.
I'm curious if anybody out there had Funcolands by them. But that's like a throwback game store. Like, if you're a gamer and you don't know about Funcoland, I don't want to hear about Twitch and, like, all this other bullshit that's out there now, like Xbox 480 and, like, playing online Call of Duty. Your credibility card, your ID card to being a gamer now is if you know Funcoland. So, quiet, if you play games right now, I lost a little bit of respect for you because Funcoland used to be the shit.
Dude, I've never. We We didn't have that in Long Island, I don't think.
What did you have? What was your game store?
We had local ones near us. It was called Front Row Video, which you could rent, which I eventually worked at.
Video. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You worked at a video store?
Yeah,
Oh, that's gangster.
Yeah, yo, it was fun.
Did you have? Are there any stories of like people like not like bringing the shit back rewound or something like that, and you getting pissed off or?
Yo, yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying if they bring it back and it's not rewound because you got to look at the tape and then you got to rewind it. You got to put it. We only have one machine. And you just put it in the machine and just wait for it to rewind.
So you had the old school VHSs?
Yeah, we have VHSs. We had DVDs.
And did people ever like try to steal a game or put a old game in?
Oh, yeah, we had some wild. We had shit like that all the time. Like, you know, people try to put another game in and be like, you know, you call them up and they're like, oh yeah, that was my kid must have done that or whatever. Yeah. It's like, okay, just bring back the game. But the crazy thing is, like, remember late fees?
Yeah,
bro. There were people with like hundreds of dollars in late fees, like $300-400, and then some of them would go up to the counter, right? And if you had over $20 in late fees, you had to pay it to get it down under 20. You didn't have to pay the whole thing, but you had to get under 20. So someone with like a $30 late fee, it's like, all right, $10, whatever, you know?
And then they could rent their movie for the night or whatever.
Yeah, but then there'd be like straight up arguments if someone had a $350 late fee.
People really had that much?
Bro, yeah. And I was like, all right, listen, you know, then you can cut deals. Like, all right, if you pay 60 now, I'll say that you paid 90 or whatever. You know, like you like cut deals like that because you just type it into the computer. You let the boss know, and he's like, all right, yeah, we got to get some money from them, you know? So you would do that. But you couldn't. It was weird. I had a boy who, one of my friends, had like an $800 late fee. Like, no joke. Oh, my God.
Like, do you remember what for?
Yo, just every, like, he, you know, because you could rent up to
like that?
What's up?
Debbie Does Dallas or something like that?
Yeah, something like, because you could rent 5 at a time, right?
Oh, wow.
So then I think he rented 5, and then his like brother rented 5, and that's 10 there, and they both didn't return them shits.
Oh my God.
And it was like, you know, it's like $2 a day or something. That shit just adds up. They never brought it back for a year.
And this is your boy? Are you telling him like, yo, like you go to his crib and see 10 movies there? You're like, I'll bring them back for you.
Yeah, because he was like, he would always ask. He's like, are you working now? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm like, dude, I can't rent a video to you because literally when your account pops up, the screen just blanks red, man. It blinks red, like just going wild. Oh. Like, don't rent to this customer. Call boss immediately. You know, we'd have these old ass monitors.
Yeah.
That just had these, you know, it was like DOS. It was like a DOS system, like a DOS system.
Yeah.
And it was just, it would just have these custom messages. It's like, don't rent to this customer.
Oh my God. It's crazy how
they
we
need
got
to pay their full fee, and then like we couldn't. I was like, dude, I can't even put like that. You paid $100. It will throw off the whole system and the cash register. You gotta just like make another account or something.
Oh my gosh,
it would get wild in there.
It is wild to think how, like, my dad sent me, me and my brother and my sister a whole bunch of like old school videos that he had on VHS tapes. Why do I keep saying it? He had them on VHS tapes.
I really thought that it was called a VHS tap after a while. I was like, I don't know that one, man.
And the second time I tried just as hard. Like, I tried harder than the first time to say it correctly. I just didn't. He had them on VHS tape. See, the S throws that shit off. I almost messed up again by slowing up.
Yeah.
And he got them all digitized. And we were at like birthday parties from like 1991. And it was just crazy because like we was at like a pool hall and people were just playing pool. Like parents were standing behind their kids, like showing them how to use the cue and stuff. And there was no technology in sight outside of like no one had their phone texting, like checking their emails. There must have been one recorder that I think I remember my dad having, and it was some shit he had on his shoulder, a big ass,
shoulder.
Yeah, it was like a big ass boombox, and that was like what you recorded everybody on. So if you went by a pool table, you would like wave and say hi and not be like, I'm sure now every video of kids at birthday parties is every like girl or boy standing in a circle like this, or like parents like, it's probably so boring.
Yeah.
Whereas like we watch the videos now, and it's
Yo,
like the camera came around and you were a celebrity because it's like you've never been on tape before, you've never been on video, so it was like the coolest thing to do something on camera.
Yo, I would love like a side-by-side video comparison of a 90s kid birthday party and then a kid now, their birthday party.
Epic.
And just scan the room, you know?
Yeah, that would be.
So I'm surprised no one's done that yet. That'll happen soon.
Yeah, definitely. Like, someone will have old footage of their birthday party. Like, I could use the old footage of mine. I mean, my daughter's too young, but maybe I'll just go to a random 9-year-old's party and...
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, wait. When she has a birthday, then you do it.
Well, I gotta wait like 8 years now, and someone will definitely have a video by then out of the split screen idea that we're talking about.
Yeah, true. But that would get crazy views, though, man.
That would get a lot of views.
It would be eye-opening, man. It would be eye-opening.
Yeah, it would be crazy. But it was just cool to watch those videos because every kid was interacting with another kid. If it was an art project, they're all sitting around the table. Like, the parents are talking to each other. It wasn't weird shit going on. And it was just a different time. And it reminds me of, like, what if the day before Blockbuster went bankrupt, or, like, your video store, someone came through and just rented mad shit, and then the doors were just closed the next day? They must have felt like gold. Yeah. But then they're stuck with, like, 10 VHS tapes that, like, 5 years later they can't do anything with them because everything's DVD.
I hope whoever that happened to, I hope they were all like people 55 and older because they still love that shit. You know, old people still like their VHSs, their DVD players even. But I hope they got all of them. Like, what do you do with all those? You just like, you know, people do collect them still. And there are like video stores in New York City still.
Well, there's still video stores. There's a, what's it called by me? Like Video Depot? No. It's video something, but like now they started selling like CBD oil, which is so random.
Yeah, they sell a little bit of everything to keep
they have to, because it's like no one's going to buy. If you're going into a video store to buy a DVD now, like, you've got to just be so ancient. Like, I think I'm old school. Like, I'll still occasionally pop a CD in my car if like there's a CD player or something, which is rare. But like, I know how to go to Netflix, or like at least say into my remote. Like, my remote has this little microphone on it. I could just say like Billy Madison, and it'll play.
That's cool.
Yeah, wow. It's the best shit ever. Yeah. But like, I don't even have it in me to go to a store to buy a DVD. Because how, like, every TV now doesn't even have a DVD player in it. So, like,
no.
Who the, like, why are you going to these stores? There's no use for them. And I don't know how, Family Video, that's the name of it. So, I don't know. They might have some of them outside of Illinois. But unless the CBD sales are really, like, keeping them in business, I don't know how the movie shit is.
Yo, some of those stores get me sometimes because there's a few nearby me. So I've walked by before. I'm like, yo, let me pop in. Let me just see. And then I'd last like 6 minutes, and then I'm like, this shit is whack. Yeah, but yeah, you look at the titles and it's very like the classics, like Casablanca on tape. You know what I mean? How many of those are you selling in a day? So yeah, you need some CBD in the window.
Something. How much?
Yeah.
I still have in my parents' house downstairs. They have like the old school big screen. It's a big screen TV, but the back is super like large on it.
Oh, those suck.
Yeah, terrible. They take up so much space.
Bro, so heavy.
Or incredibly heavy. But above it, they have all VHS tapes. I fucked it up.
Yo,
I'm struggling. They have, when Titanic came out on VHS, it was like legit 5 or 6 VHS tapes. Like you played one.
There's a collection.
You played one, and then like you would have to enter VHS number 2. Like, that movie was so long, they had to put it on like 4 different VHS tapes. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like it was a collection pack. It was like a big box, and you get 1 through 4, and you just, you know. Play an hour and a half at a time, go to the next one.
My brother was cleaning his room once at my dad's apartment. We shared a room. And this was a while ago, but he like moved the dresser and he found like an old Blockbuster like VHS tape, and it was like The Great Gatsby or some shit like that. And it was just so random to see like that Blockbuster like box with the VHS in it. It's like when anyone pulls out like their Blockbuster card. Did you guys have like a card at your video store?
Yeah.
That's wild.
With the barcode on the back, you could just swipe it. But yeah, you guys probably have an outstanding late fee for that DVD.
Yeah, if Blockbuster ever comes back in business, I don't think we'll be allowed in the store.
You guys are screwed.
I used to love that shit, man. All right, so sorry. Let's get back to the Super Bowl. So you think the Niners?
I want the Niners. That could change by next week of who I'm thinking.
I think Mahomes has like a special thing going with him right now. Like I think he's incredible, but I don't like that like they started last two games like behind the eight ball like that, being down by like 20 and then 10 or whatever they were down.
Yeah.
I think the Niners defense is too good. And that coach Shanahan like it knows his shit, man. He's a good coach.
Yeah, Jimmy G threw 8 times yesterday, and they killed the Packers.
That's all he threw was 8 times?
He was 6 for 8, 77 yards.
Yeah, he sort of flies under the radar of, like, really not blowing you away, but still winning every single game practically.
Yeah, and I think, like, the week before he did well. But it's, they asked Shanahan, like, why did he only throw 8 times? It's like, well, we ran the ball, and that was working, so why would we throw more? Like, they couldn't stop the run.
There's 2 people, in my opinion, that never age. And I discovered the second one yesterday. The first one is Clips, or Pharrell from Clips, musician. Yeah. He never ages. That guy just looks the same age. And the second guy is Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan's dad. They kept showing him in the booth last night.
Oh, yeah.
He fucking looks phenomenal, man. He looks exactly like when he was coaching back with like John Elway.
With the Broncos, right?
He looks better now, I feel like. He's still tan, and he looks the same. The guy hasn't aged. And that was like 20 years ago.
Oh, he's probably way better now. He's not screaming his lungs out at anyone. He's just chilling in retirement.
Yeah, but I don't get how that guy is always tan. I don't think he's going to a tanning bed because that can't be good for him.
It's called retirement.
Yeah, but like he was in San Francisco last night, right? Or no, his son's...
Yeah, he's definitely in a warm weather state.
But he coached in Denver, and Denver's freezing cold, and even when it was freezing cold, his face would be like red from like being cold, but he'd still have like a tan tint to him. I think
he's got a nice glow.
He must get like glow. He was pre-Trumpian. He's got like a little spray tanny thing that I think he might do.
That's possible. Remember Coughlin when it was freezing?
Oh my God!
When it was with the Giants, his face was falling off.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. How do you? Oh no, you're not a Giants fan. But what do you think about the Jason Garrett hiring as their offensive coordinator?
I like it. It's cool. It's a good storyline. I don't care if he does well or not.
I think it's a
Giants fan.
I think it's weird for the Giants just because I think he's so like. I think he's really good friends with Jerry Jones and has like a lot of respect for the Cowboys. And I think if it really came down to it, like he wouldn't be able to like really pull the trigger and like step on their throats as an offensive coordinator if they were like needed to win the game, He'd be like, I might want Jerry to win this one.
Dude, if he's like that, then
that's what I'm saying. But like, why even? At all. But like, that's something that had to have crossed their minds. Like he coached with the Cowboys for so long. Jerry Jones was so loyal to him. Even at the end, like they never officially said he got fired.
I know. It'll probably be weird right in the beginning, but you got to think also Jason Garrett was with the Giants before the Cowboys.
That's true. He was like a backup quarterback, right?
Yeah. So
yeah, but I still think different. Even if it doesn't work out with the Giants, like he could go back to the Cowboys and be like some special advisor. Well, because his father was a scout for the Cowboys. I'll take it before even the Giants. His dad was like a Cowboys scout who discovered Troy Aikman.
No way, really?
Yeah, and that's what like got him into the whole Cowboys like ring there was because his father was like the one who discovered Aikman, and I think even like Irving and Emmitt Smith and all those guys.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it's a great hire for the Giants. That's just my personal opinion, but who knows? Maybe it'll be good. I think personally, the Super Bowl is going to be like a rematch of the Panthers Broncos. Broncos had like a really good defense. Carolina was coming in with Cam Newton, was super like hot, and the defense just shut them down. And Peyton Manning just had to like sort of fly by a little bit and and win the game. So I don't know. I'm torn because I think Mahomes is really, really good and he's got like some special magic, but Niners defense is really good and they could put up a lot of points. My question to you is, what did you think about the whole Revis Richard Sherman spat going on?
Yeah, that was. I understand both of their points, but it's like, why is Revis even doing that?
I agree.
I know they've beefed before in the past, but it's like, dude, this kind of came out of nowhere. Like, You're literally, you took a picture of the TV while on your couch.
Yeah, you set yourself up.
Yeah, like he said some, I thought, were correct things about Sherman, but also Sherman's just doing what his defensive coach is asking him to do. He's not. Yeah. What do you want him to say? No. This is about me. Let me go, man. Like,
yeah, I agree.
How that go.
I think Revis was looking for attention. He wanted to stay relevant because then he had some tweets after that, going back and forth with some fans. Yeah, man, it's like he obviously was one of the best DBs when he played, but it's like, dude, you've been out of the league for a couple years now. You're washed. Sherman is still playing regardless of if he mans up on their best receiver every single time. He's still playing. He's still getting interceptions. Yeah. He still is matched up on number one receivers at points of games.
Yep.
So it's like, calm down, Revis. Like you're not anywhere close to where he's at. Like, dude's going to be playing in the Super Bowl. And Sherman hit him back with like a perfect response. Like, yo, you're tweeting from your couch.
I know.
I got to focus on the Super Bowl. Like, get out of here, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, but I don't know. Both teams are exciting to watch. It'll be fun. So yeah, I want to ask you about the UFC because I don't know too much about it. Did you watch the big Conor McGregor cowboy thing?
Yeah, I did.
All 45 seconds of it.
All 40 seconds of it, man.
That's the shit I don't get about UFC. So if anybody didn't watch, Conor McGregor fought this guy, Cowboy. Well, I don't even know
Cerrone.
Cerrone. Is that his name? Is Cowboy?
Donald Cerrone.
Oh, okay.
His nickname is Cowboy.
So he's older and was good, and now he's sort of washed, and like was like a redemption fight, or he was good.
He's in. He wins and loses in spurts. He had just lost 2 in a row, but also top 10 guys like. If he wins those, maybe you're talking about him going for a title. So it's not like he's some nobody. It's not like he's past his prime, I would say even. Yeah. He's a little long in the tooth. Sure, he's a little, aged in terms of MMA, but he's still a worthy opponent. And like,
but do you think this was like a layup fight from McGregor to get his feet wet to ultimately fight a Diaz or that other guy?
No, I don't. I like 8 months ago, they were talking about Donald Cerrone. Like, this could be the time that he gets his world title because he was really beating up some guys that he shouldn't have been. And that's how that goes. And then he lost to a few guys. But
here's my thing: I don't care that yes, fighting you can get knocked out, this or that. If you can't last more than 40 seconds in a fight, like. You shouldn't even be close to a championship fight. Like, I just don't get it. Like, you have to be, like, more defensive. Like, how do you allow yourself to get knocked out? Like, all of these, like, even when the other guy, Vet Masvidal or whatever, came out and hit him with the flying punch and knocked him out, like, right off the bat, there has to be some, like, you can't let that shit happen.
Well, yeah, but easier said than done, bro. When the guy's running across the ring at you, trying to swing or trying to knee your head off, it's a little, 40 seconds. That's like, dude, think about it. They lock you in the cage. and this guy's just running at you, throwing a left haymaker, and you're just like, okay, here we go. Like,
to me,
people get caught.
It's not acceptable. Like, I don't get why boxing you could get 3 knockdowns or whatever. Like, they don't even really get a 10 count in UFC. Like, it's just like they could just get pulverized until the ref cancels the fight. It's like,
well, yeah,
he gets knocked down, and then give him a minute or something to like recover.
no, bro, just watch boxing.
And then go, but like,
literally want this to be boxing.
But are you mad after 40 seconds, or are you happy? Like, you're like, okay, I'm fine with that result. Like, sitting here like for this fight that's been built up all this time, 40 seconds, you're cool with it?
I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even have a chance to breathe. I'm fine with it.
But you don't even have a chance to dip into your popcorn or anything like that.
No, man. But you know what? Dude, that's the excitement of it. There's other fights that, go 5 rounds and they're exciting. There's some fights that go 5 rounds and they're awful. So which one do you want? Like, I understand everyone loves the classic 5 rounds, just slug each other out, but that doesn't happen too often because the gloves are so light. They're just someone's gonna get knocked out. Like, it really doesn't happen very often, and that's why those are considered like the classics.
I just can't see anybody looking at this fight and being like, that was a success. I really enjoyed that. I'm glad I went to Buffalo Wild Wings and watched that shit. Like, you don't even have time to take your jacket off if you just got there for the fight.
Well, no, that's not how you do it anyway. Just because, like, you go to these places, you can't just like,
you watch the whole card,
hop in right before Cerrone McGregor, and then you'll be out like waiting outside in line. Like, like some of these places are crazy with that. But at the very least, you watch a few of the fights before, and then that one, because even if you're there for one fight, it's still only 20-25 minutes if it's a full fight. So it's like, okay, that's not that much anyway. It's not boxing where it's 12 rounds. The way I looked at it, I was like, I was just shell shocked. I didn't know where to go from there. I watched it 5 million times over. Didn't turn off the pay-per-view until they signed off. So, and then after that, I watched
your money's worth. You paid for it?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
I streamed it, and then it went out, dude, right before the walkouts, because I'm assuming like the traffic of everyone.
So how'd you get it back up?
Bro, I was watching the whole fight on my laptop, HDMI to the TV, perfect.
Yeah,
it was like I bought it.
Yeah,
and then it just crashed real quick. So then I went on Periscope, and that's just everyone's just.
So that's like me relying on you recording it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've done that before. I think I tried to watch the Mayweather Pacquiao maybe fight on that shit or something like that. And I got one guy who's like, he's sitting on his couch, periscoping well. I'm like, like, everybody's writing, thank you, man. Thank you, dude. Really appreciate it. You're the man, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, he, like, turns to the side or some shit, and you can see half the screen, and people are like, yo, dude, what's going on?
Yeah.
And you don't want to leave because, like, he still has it up. And, like, other people's shit is suspect.
It gets taken down sometimes.
Yeah, it gets taken down. Oh, man. So it's like, you got to rely on these fucking random people.
So I went on Periscope, and I was like, all right, I'll figure it out because I have my not-so-legal sites that I could go on and get it. I'll get to the sites between the first and the second round.
How many random links are you clicking on? Like, how many shit normally?
Oh, bro. So it's, with the way mine is set up, like, you click the link for the fight, and then you gotta find the red X on the screen, click it. Then another red X pops up somewhere on the screen, you gotta find it. And there's a lot of times there's 3 or 4 red X's, and only one of them X's out the pop-ups. So if you click the wrong red X, then you get another pop-up that gets thrown onto it.
And then sometimes you can't even exit out of the pop-up. It's like, it's over. Like, you try to cancel out all your shit, and it's like, it just won't go away. Yeah,
like, thank God all computers are built with the pop-up blockers installed in it already.
Sometimes those streaming sites know how to power through those, like, pop-up blockers.
I know, but you just get the anime porn popping up a lot of times. You get a little bit of everything. So it's not ideal, but then, Periscope isn't great either. So I got this kid. He's just filming it, right? He's just filming it, and
how many were there other viewers in the thing?
Yeah, so they're like, all right, cool, man, thanks. And then he's just like talking, and then they're like, yo, shut up though, man, all right? Just shut up.
Nah, you can't piss off the recorder, man.
It's like, yo, thanks for putting this up, but shut up, man, stop talking. So I thought that was funny, and then so I watched it on a kid's phone through Periscope.
So he did the whole thing. He had it posted up?
All 40 seconds of it. So then it was like, oh, all right, I guess I don't have to find a link now.
Yeah, that's a good man. But like, I'm surprised he didn't really, like write like ding, 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 and they walk out, and he's like, all right, fuck you guys, and then just cut out, and now you have to scramble to find another one.
Oh, I know. Well, it does happen sometimes where they get taken down. Like I click through 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And they just get shut down because the comments, if they get a ton of comments and then the little hearts, if they get the likes on it, then I think it alerts other people.
So people tell them maybe not to like it or something? Like, don't.
Yeah, like, yo, don't do that, because then I think it alerts people that, oh, this is popular. What is this? Oh, this is illegal. And
are you ever in a live chat? Sometimes I'll like go in a random person who's live on Instagram or something. Michael Rappaport sometimes like will go live, and there's all the comments popping up, and then it'll like randomly ask you like, is this acceptable or something like that? And it's like something that's not even that bad. And it's like, yes, no,
I don't know,
or something like that.
Yes, no, I don't know.
In those polls.
Yeah, I'm always like, I don't know, man. I don't care.
Exactly,
and
then it shows you what everybody else voted. Like, I give a fuck.
Yeah, I think I was in a live chat with or a live video with the Mets, and it was like a David Wright press conference, like his last game or whatever, and someone said something bad, and I reported him. Someone says like, dude sucks. I was like, yo, you're going down. I flagged your ass, man. You ain't gonna have a social media handle. You keep it up like that.
Speaking of Mets, you guys just can't win. I texted you about this. So Carlos Beltran was supposedly, I don't even really know this, but I asked you, like, was he involved with the Astros? So the Astros got caught cheating. A former pitcher who's now with the A's exposed the team for cheating. They would bang the dugout. Supposedly now Beltran's niece came out and said that they were wearing buzzers on their shoulder and shit like that. So it was pretty like elaborate cheating scandal. And Beltran, you had told me, was on the Astros while all this was going down. He becomes the Mets manager, got to be 2 years later or something, and gets fired by the Mets just because of media speculation and stuff. So I'll let you speak on it more because that's your team, and people expected good things out of him.
Yeah, this is serious. I brought the mic up.
Yeah, I see.
Because this has severely affected me. It's not good in terms of, where the Mets are at right now. They're probably going to hire someone in-house. They felt pressure, even though they were assured by MLB that Beltran would not be suspended because he was a player at the time, and no players are going to get punished for this.
Yeah.
Right? So they were like, he's not going to get punished for this. They, for some reason, from what I've read and what I've heard, the Mets, for some reason, thought maybe something else is going to come out. And if something hits in May, June, it's really not going to be good if you got to get rid of your manager then, especially if they're playing well. And then you got to try to figure something out. So they just try to nip it in the bud. So I understand it from that perspective. I would have liked to see them ride it out with him. I really would have.
I feel like they rode it out for a while with him. And I don't know, now that you said that, there must be some information that they have that's like, oh, fuck, if this gets out, like, Beltran, like, the weirdest shit ever. Like, I don't know what's crazy in baseball, but, like, something that you're like, they were doing what?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, when he was with the Astros, and I think I maybe even mentioned this before on a podcast, but, like, there was a stretch where he would get up, and it was like a home run I think he has a record for, like, postseason home runs or something, because he would get up, and it would just be a home run, home run, home run, home. And I was like, holy fuck, this guy is just amazing.
Yeah, that was his first stint with the Astros. I didn't even put that together.
That's not what they're accusing him for that first time, because I thought he was older when he was like doing all that home run shit. Oh, I can't. You sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. I can't hear you. Something funky with the mic. See, you got all riled up with Beltran, and then your mic just...
Yeah, it started.
Oh, there you go.
The
you must have been exposing all the secrets about what Beltran was doing. MLB and the Mets just hacked into us and didn't want to get
that's probably what happened, honestly. But, so yeah, this is from 2016 when he was a role player on the team, and they pretty much called him like, oh, he's like another bench coach pretty much because he helps out all the young guys. So they raved about guys like him. They raved about him.
So he was doing some shit, man.
He was Alex Cora's second-hand man. So wouldn't put it past me because then he went to the Yankees 2017.
Well, he was clean and good on the Yankees. I think that's when
sure, yeah.
He realized that, he's not going to pull this shit in New York, maybe with the Mets or something.
Yeah.
He came to the Yankees and he was a gentleman. He was a class act.
I will tell you right now, I would have allowed him to bang all the trash cans in the world if the Mets won a World Series. I am not above that at this point.
I saw a funny tweet that was like, it was like the Astros. It might have been Frank Isola or something. Was like the Astros, like all the teams that got penalized, like the Mets are the only team to get penalized and didn't get anything out of it, like a World Series or something.
Yeah, it's like
it was the Red Sox and the Astros. Like both teams won a World Series.
Yeah.
But the Mets still fired their manager and got shit out of it.
Mets didn't cheat at all, still get the worst of it.
Yeah.
That's very Mets of us.
Oh.
But more's going to come out.
I think
baseball has never been more exciting in the off season.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're saying baseball is not exciting, and maybe you want to give baseball a chance, like watch this season. It's going to get interesting because guys are now going at it on Twitter again, like at each other.
Yeah.
There's been the Indians pitcher Mike Clevenger has like been talking reckless about the Astros, and then told one of the Astros pitchers like, "Come see me, man. Like we'll figure it out man to man. Like we'll figure this out man to man. I'm not going to talk to you on Twitter about it."
Sabathia is not playing anymore, but he put up. Did you see his Instagram tweet about?
I saw it. Yeah. So he's going off. Trevor Bauer's saying some things where it's like, everyone knew this, and we know more too.
How do you feel about the A's pitcher who broke the story? Because there was a lady who was on, I think it was Mike Golick's show or something like that, and I don't agree with her take, but she was saying that he was in the wrong for being the whistleblower and exposing the Astros, and he should have just kept it to himself and his teammates and not gone public with it. And I was like, you're so wrong with that take, in my opinion.
I completely agree with her.
Really?
I completely agree with her.
Don't come out with that shit?
I completely agree with her.
Oh,
if
man.
He was on that Houston Astros team in 2016, so you're telling me you had no friends on that team. You're telling, because you've affected now every single person on that team where you're going to ruin a relationship. So you're telling me that you didn't form a bond with any of those guys in that clubhouse. When you win a championship, you have something with those 24, 25 other players where that is yours and no one can take that away from you. And I think with the way he went about it, you're never going to have that kind of embrace with them again. You're never going to go back for a ring ceremony with them again.
Yeah, oh no, it's over with the Astros. And even for the A's too, there's probably teammates like, I can't tell this guy something, or even give him a little tip.
I wouldn't tell him anything. What would you think if you were a teammate, man? If you were a teammate of him currently, it's like, I might have to watch, like, some guys might have to watch their backs around this guy. Like, what if someone loads up on pine tar too much? Like, what is...
It's tough. Well, it's tough because it's like, I think, yes, he gained an advantage from that. He was a part of that team, but like, to his defense, he's not going to call them out in season and ruin his career and not be a baseball player anymore. But I don't know. I think the guy's got morals where, like, even if someone is cheating on the A's, it's like he sort of holds them accountable. Like, yo, dude, come on, man. Like, you could do that shit without putting cork in your bat or doing this or that. You know, like, I think I would trust that guy more. You know, I probably wouldn't like say dirt to him. I wouldn't be like, if I'm married, like, yo, chick in the third row is dope as shit, because like he'll probably rat you out to your wife for saying something like that. But like, I would trust that guy with information. You know, like if I was like, hey man, don't tell anybody this or something like that, I'm just going through a rough time. Like, that would be the guy I want to talk to, other than Alex Cora, who's fucking cheating over here, stealing signs and shit like that.
Yeah, but if you're a guy who knows something, right? Apparently, obviously more than just this guy knows that certain teams are cheating. So if I'm a pitcher on a team, on an opposing team where I know the other team, like we go into Houston and I know they use cameras, right? What would stop me from going during BP to Bregman and Altuve and be like, listen, man, like, we know what's going on. I'm going to tell you right now, I will drill you between the numbers if we catch anything. Like, I promise you that. The players should have policed it themselves. They should have.
It's still just
I'm throwing at someone. I'm sorry. I'm throwing at someone, and I'm putting them on their ass if I hear anything. It's just
I just think it's dirty, man. I
guarantee you they stop. It is dirty. It is dirty. It's not cool, but it's also now I do think it's a little sad that guys have lost their jobs because of it. I know it's probably warranted. I know it's, you know, Corey deserved it. I get it. But now other people are going to get thrown into the mix. And
Fuck
now
all of them, man. Like, I think I don't have any sympathy for them, because it's like.
But everyone's doing it. I'm going to tell you that right now.
You think everyone's stealing signs and stuff like that?
Doing
or getting advantage somehow?
I'm telling you, at least 10 to 15 teams are doing it. There were reports that when DeGrom, he got lit up, he barely gets hit at all, but he got touched up a little against the Dodgers in like July, and they were like, and the Mets were like,
something's off.
This is weird. Like, they know our signs. I don't know how they know our signs.
Yeah.
And then there's been other rumblings about the Dodgers being involved.
Well, that's why I think it's a good thing, because it's just like, clean that shit up, man. Because it's like the steroid shit. It's like, it's unfair to like the teams who aren't doing that stuff, man. Because like, and not to be a homer, but like, if the Yankees aren't doing that, these guys are stealing their signs. It's like, Sabathia's got a point. It's like, I'm out here getting rocked, when if we put it how it is, I would strike your ass out, you know? Like, and guys are getting paid off of it. Guys are winning World Series off of it. And it's like, it just, you could, the game could
tough.
Still, yeah,
it's tough because there's a fine line. Like, The Athletic, with that article with Mike Fiers, the A's pitcher, it came from The Athletic. It mentioned the Dodgers. It mentioned the Red Sox in 2000. It mentioned the Yankees with Apple Watches. It mentioned all of them, but only the Astros stuck for now.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it also makes you think too. It could ruin a guy's like career too. Like, Kershaw is so good in the regular season, and everybody would be like, "Oh, he's not a great postseason pitcher," but it's like, boom, that's when the cameras turn on and you steal the guy's signs.
Well, he got lit up against the Astros.
That's what I'm saying, and maybe the other teams who lit him up too were doing the same shit. And it's like, everyone looks at Kershaw as he's not a big game pitcher, and maybe he leaves LA because they're tired of him choking in the playoffs. When in reality, the guy's still a stud. It's just they've got an advantage on him. They know what pitch is coming. And I don't know. Yeah. I think I respect the guy for coming out and saying that shit, because I'm sure he's taking shit on the A's too. I'm sure people don't fuck with him, and I'm sure he'll have a tough time signing with a different team, because he'll get, blacklisted by some teams who are cheating, that are like, I don't want this guy on my team. If he sees we're doing this, which isn't that bad, he'll call us out, and who knows what'll happen, Yeah, so he took a big risk by doing that, I think. Yeah,
he did, but it's like, you didn't do anything when you were a part of it, so you were fine with it, and then now all of a sudden you're like going at. I respect everything that's going on after the fact. Like, I like how guys like Clevenger are saying what you said. They're like, they're getting guys sent down to the minor leagues because they're just cheating straight up. You know what I mean? Like, a pitcher has a bad outing, he's getting sent to the minor leagues. You're taking food off our table.
Yeah.
Like, so I understand when guys say that. I like that they're all going at it with each other.
Yeah, it makes for exciting after, shit.
I love it. I just think it's going to get a little muddy when you start to talk about the players and like who's involved, because
it's just interesting.
There's going to be a lot. It's not just them.
No, you're right. And I'm sure there's tons of people now that are like, oh shit, I haven't gotten caught yet, or this and that. But like, it's funny how every era like has their thing, and it's just like people trying to find competitive advantages. It happens everywhere. It happens in business world.
Yeah.
It happens on social media. Like people try to find an advantage over other people to build, to win a championship and to become successful. And sports is the epitome of everything. And then you just will do anything at all costs to win. It just sucks when it's, when it's cheating, but then also like it's like you can, if you're the Yankees and stuff like that and all these other teams and you know that you have speculation that this is happening, maybe get more creative with your signs or like do so, like if your catcher has to walk out to the pitcher every single time and tell him what pitch to throw, do that shit. Because if you have any rumblings that a team is cheating, you got to be creative on your end to not let it happen, I guess.
Well, I definitely think everyone's safe for the upcoming season after everything that's gone on. You'd have to be an absolute psycho to try something now. You know what I mean? Like,
well, look at the Patriots. Like we said, they fucking still had their guy recording the Bengals sidelines, which I don't know why you'd want to record the Bengals, but they still were cheating in plain sight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all sports, especially baseball. It goes back as far as you can remember, man. Like, we talk about steroids and stuff like that, but even in the 80s, like when guys were taking amphetamine pills, like that's cheating,
Yeah. All right. Our boy Elden Yekel, shout out to him. He asked a couple questions. We'll get to them right now. First one, and I guess I have to ask him this first if he knows about Funcoland, because he's not allowed to ask us about esports if he doesn't know what Funcoland is.
That's fair. Yeah, we need a response. Someone in the comments has to acknowledge Funcoland, or else I don't know if it's a real thing.
Funcoland's fucking real as shit. And here's my story. I think I brought Quarterback Club to them, like with a bunch of other games and even like a Super Nintendo system. And they only offered me like $30, and I was so pissed. They were the worst at giving you money for your games. Like they were supposed to be the spot where you could return them and like exchange it for like a brand new game.
You get nothing.
Nothing. And this is their karma, as they went out of business and got bought by GameStop because they were shisty. They didn't give you shit, man. I used to go in there with loads of shit, and I would tell my dad and mom, I'd be like, I'm leaving here with a PlayStation, and I'm gonna have every single game. I might even get a Dreamcast. Like I might get everything today, like the whole store. And they'd be like, yeah, we could maybe give you a controller. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
For all this shit?
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's like GameStop too.
They're shiesty, man. It's like, I'm hooking you up with mad shit that if you look at it now, that stuff is worth way more than like what I was probably asking for.
That's what I'm saying. If you just held on to it now and then tried to sell it to like a GameStop, that'd be worth something.
Hell yeah. So So a little bit happy that Funcoland went out of business. A little bit sad because that was my childhood. So I'm curious if people know Funcoland. But esports, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't know if I'd ever actually watch it. It's interesting. I like how people make money off it. I like the NBA 2K League.
Do you respect the people who make a career out of esports? Like,
hell yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I wish I could do that.
Yeah,
I suck at video games,
Same.
So it's like I wish I could just sit there and just play 2K all day and be drafted as like, part of the Knicks gaming squad or whatever.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I find it comical. It's just comical to me that like these people who are the total opposite of what like a basketball player is, like someone who's athletic, goes to the gym. Not that these people who play esports aren't, but like it's in theory the exact opposite. You sit on a couch and you play a video game and you're usually munching on some food or something like that. Not athletic, because that's time where you could be going to the gym or something like that, are now like walking across the draft stage because they've been drafted by like, the E-Jazz or something like that. And it's like,
yo, it's no joke though, man. They like
it's crazy serious.
Yeah, no, they treat it like a job too, where they practice, I think 5-6 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's not like your typical like lazy person sitting on the couch anymore.
But like they're still in a chair being lazy, sitting there using their fingers. It's like,
bro, you see some of them, they're shredded. So if you,
I haven't seen any shredded e-gamers. Don't try and sell me on it. Send me a picture of a shredded e-gamer.
I'll send you an article. There was a kid that broke up with his girlfriend, right? He was an e-gamer. This kid is shredded, man.
Really?
Shredded. Broke up with his girlfriend because he had to focus more on esports.
Oh my gosh.
His girlfriend's a dime piece.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think the new wave of sports is that every league is going to have an esports. I think MLS, the soccer, just had an e-draft or whatever. I saw the Red Bulls had a guy who was picking, and I was like, oh, what draft is this? Then I saw it was like some random out-of-shape guy like drafting video game players, and I was like, come on, man. Like, don't waste my time with this tweet. Like, I
want to do this. I honestly want to know like the next big game. Maybe I'll just get ahead of the curve and try to practice it. I just never get better at video games.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm not good at it. I don't know how to practice it. I just try to like take shortcuts to win it.
It's hard because it's like when I used to play Madden, you want to be in control of the quarterback, but then you have to throw the receiver and like juke people. Like there's just, I give you credit because it's a lot of like buttons to remember. You got to know when to turbo at the right time. Like outside of like having to call the right plays, which you do in Madden or whatever, you still got to like know how to run an offense and defense. You got to know, like I was always fascinated by people who used to play Street Fighter and like knew how to do combos.
Yeah, so, like, instead of just jamming buttons.
It's like, that's an art to me, is like knowing how to pull the controller a certain way and then at the right time push like BBA to get like Ryul to like get his fireball spun out. So like,
never knew combos.
That's what I'm saying. I never knew any combos. So like, there is an intelligent, special like talent that it takes to be good at these games. So, I don't want to discredit them too much because it is an art, and these guys have perfected their crafts, and have worked hard to get where they are. It's just, it's a different work. It's just, it's interesting to me. I don't know. I find it funny, but I also have respect for them because it is tough to do.
Do you think I could be like? Do they sign guys to just play O-line in Madden? Like, and is it like a viable career?
I don't.
Like,
I think
give me a salary for that.
Yeah, the NFL is a weird one because I don't think they have a video sports game league yet, which is interesting because you would think that's a no-brainer to like have Madden.
Yeah, just put me on the line. There's only so many buttons you can do. I'll block my ass off for you guys,
and occasionally just get some false starts and all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the NFL would have like specialty positions. Obviously, they'd have a running back. They'd have receivers, a quarterback. But
I didn't even think about false starts. I don't know if I want that anymore.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm in on esports. I think it's the wave. I think that's where every league is going. They're going to have an esports team. It's a good way for leagues to make more money. Advertisers, I guess. I mean, I'm learning about Twitch and all these other freaking like streaming sites. There's a lot of money to be had. And especially with other games like Fortnite and all this shit, the Call of Duty, they like sell out arenas of people sitting behind a computer screen inside of like a suite and just project it on the Jumbotron, and like they'll sell out like 80,000 seats. They did it at where the tennis is in Queens, Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yeah, now those people are crazy.
There's literally a person
going to a stadium to watch a screen.
I can't do it. There's a person in a booth playing his video game, and there's people in the stands watching. It's fascinating. Crazy.
Yeah, no thanks to that.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could do it. I give him a lot of props, but I wouldn't go attend any of this shit because I don't see how it's fun. Someone tried to sell me on NASCAR once. They try to say that going to a NASCAR sporting event is fun. I don't see it. Maybe if I went to an e-sporting event and it was fun, I don't know how it could be fun.
I'd go to a NASCAR pregame, so if there's a cool party before the esports thing, I'll go to that. But
yeah, I could if they have a DJ or something, but I just don't know how it's exciting watching, a video board. But then again, there's people who watch this podcast, and I'm still fascinated that people are interested in that.
People like different things.
People like different things. Yeah. Last question from our boy Yekel. XFL. Are you in or out? What are your thoughts on it? Have you followed them on Instagram? Are you keeping up with anything they're doing? You buying a jersey?
No. I'm not keeping up with anything, but I'm in. I know that the Ocho Cinco had a tryout as a kicker. They should just sign him.
That'd been awesome. All over the place now because I guess like Bleacher Report is like pouring a lot of money into him. So he was at the Conor fight. It was very awkward though because like he spoke to Conor before the fight. And then right after the fight, as soon as he like went into the locker room, Chad Johnson was standing there, and he had to talk to him again.
Yep.
I just found that like eerie. It was just weird because like you see McGregor like look at the camera, and like still have to like be on and like do his like boasty showman shit. And it was just I don't know. I thought that whole interaction was weird because Ocho Cinco definitely had the access from the Bleacher Report. He was doing like the betting thing. So he had access to be in the locker room. But I just found all those exchanges super weird, and it wasn't funny, and I thought it was strange.
Yeah, it was weird. He could kick though. So if
could
this
kick.
Is real, like he would be legit in that league, and they should go that route where they get.
You'd be excited for him as a kicker though.
Yeah, I'd watch it. Yeah. I would go to a game. Like, I think the way that they're going to go or the way that they should go is the big three route where they get those, those guys that maybe they had a stint in the NFL for a few years, but they somehow have that name, where it's like, holy shit, remember that guy? And, I would watch that. I'll give it a chance. I'm not going to sit down and watch a whole slate of games on I don't know if it's a Saturday or Sunday or whatever.
Yeah, you're not playing fantasy XFL.
No. But like I would for sure go to a game. I'd watch if there's nothing on. It should be on like weeknights, honestly, which is what it probably is. That would make sense. But yeah, why not? It's not like it's interfering with the NFL.
No, yeah, I'd go to a game, but like I said, they got to have a couple like sexy pieces, like right now, I don't think there's anybody that blows me away. Like I'd like to see Ocho Cinco in there, maybe Terrell Owens come back, even like Johnny Manziel maybe for a game or something. Like you got to have a name, like even Michael Vick if it's like he's not getting touched up, but he could still play quarterback. Colin Kaepernick if he signs with the team, like that's a no-brainer. Like why doesn't he go to the XFL?
I know he should.
It would get eyeballs there instantaneously. Everybody
they have a TV deal.
So like he could do his kneeling, all that shit. But yeah, I would go check out a couple games. Like I went to the Big Three when it was in Milwaukee. It was fun. They did a good time.
I clowned on the Big Three, but from what you said, it was good. And then watching it, it's been successful. It's like in its fourth year or something.
Yeah, they're going strong, and now they added a new rule, which on paper looks weird, but maybe it's exciting. It's like the challenge foul rule, where now you have to play 1-on-1 to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the rule. It's like you could challenge a foul call, but if you challenge it, you have to play 1-on-1 or something for that 1 point or some shit like that.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I love that.
So it's just they're getting.
Yeah.
I love how they put out all these press releases. Like the Big Three is the only professional sports league to buy. I'm like, stop! You don't include yourself in professional sports league. Like you can't come out with these statements and like put yourself on the same level as the NBA and all this shit. Like you're not.
MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, Big Three.
Big Three, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. If they start giving away bobbleheads, I'll start going more. But that's Sports Buffet. Elden Yekel, right?
Elden Yekel.
Elden. My bad, Elden. We love you. We appreciate the questions. Other people who are watching that aren't asking questions, go fuck yourselves. All right? No, I'm just kidding. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching. But ask questions. I'm curious if you know about Funcoland. I'm really.
Someone at least comment about Funcoland because I don't think it exists.
About Funcoland. I'm curious if it was just a New York, like Westchester thing. But it couldn't be because GameStop is everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So if GameStop bought them out, it definitely was like in Iowa or some shit like that. Someone in Iowa has been to a Funcoland.
Oh, we'll see. I have my doubts.
Yeah, you're not feeling the Funcoland, but Funcoland and Family Video. Family Video is still around. Funcoland's not around anymore. All right, we're out. Peace out. We'll see you next week.